guys have been quarantined, and we're going to pivot over because the Real Housewives, you guys have one last episode for the season finale, and the reunion part 3 is coming up. I want to know, which housewife would you like to be quarantined with, Cynthia? If you only had one choice.
Oh, that's easy. Andy Burris Tucker.
Really? Most people would think that you would say Kenya, so why Candy?
I love Kenya. That's my girl. But I don't want to be quarantined with Kenya. Be very clear about that. Twirl, Gone with the Wind, fabulous.
Right.
Quarantine, she would have to be gone. I would not be with the wind or whatever else. Okay. Now, Candy, I choose Candy because I'm, very close with Candy as well, and we have a great relationship as well. But with Candy, this is what you're gonna get. We're gonna eat good if it's Candy. Because Candy don't play by her food, so she's gonna make sure we good and fed.
Yes.
By going to the grocery store. And Candy has technically 2 houses. So if we get tired of each other, I can go into the other house.
Go to your own space.
So she's the obvious choice.
I love it. And she could sing. So you could rock to some of her songs.
If I get bored, I got entertainment, I got food, and I got a whole nother house if I need.
Love it. Perfect answer. And Mike, I want to ask you, because a lot of time people gave Eva's husband a lot of pushback for giving his opinion about the reunion. And they were like, stay out of women's business.
Right.
Yes, you know what they do is, we've seen it before. Okay, so as Cynthia's fiance, her man, her husband to be, do you ever find yourself watching it, like going off, or wanting to chime in, or wanting to just say, what are y'all doing? Go off on Instagram, anything?
He wants to do it all the time, especially if anyone is, attacking me or coming for me. I mean, he's very protective and very supportive.
Oh, Mike is a little
him sometimes. Like, listen, I think one of the reasons why I'm still here, a part of this show, is because I do take the high road. I won't just get down with the pigs and just wallow in the mud completely. Now, be clear, to Nene's point, 50 Cent is a real thing.
Yes.
And
he was on that yacht, and you picked up that leg and you kicked. I said, what?
She has some big feet too.
It's always on deck.
Yeah. Since you pull it out. You pull it out.
Should she need to come out?
Yeah.
But I really try to be Cynthia Cheekbones Bailey, and I really try to just be the grace and the class on the show.
You are.
But on that point, I want to protect her. And when people say stay out of women's business, I know it's this iconic line that somebody said years ago, whatever. And, look, if she has business that affects her, if somebody makes her sad, makes her angry, upset in some kind of way, you think when the lights and the cameras go off that it just cuts off and that it doesn't affect her after that? She brings it here. And if she brings it here, how can it not affect me? And how can I not get involved in some kind of way? So yes, I mean, I'm not going to get in their business. I'm not going to clap back at somebody that says something to her. I'm not going to go off on any of the women because I know she can handle herself. But at the same time, yes, her business is my business and my business is her business. Yeah. So the bottom line is, if you want me to stay out of your business, don't hurt her. Don't make her feel a certain way. Keep a smile on her face, because that's my job, is to keep a smile on her face. And when you don't do that, you are messing up my job. Yeah. And I do something about that. And I take my job very seriously.
Child, listen, I already know that might kill. I saw a video with you going off on Guy Tori. I said, Lord have mercy. You got a little thug in him.
Hey,
so both of y'all.
Oh yeah.
Both of y'all are classy, but you still got a little thug in you. And I can appreciate that. I'm from the hood, so I love it. I love it.
Hey,
somebody just the last guy, Willie, he gave me a new nickname that I love. Just almost as much as I love
Romeo.
No, it was Romeo that gave it to me.
Rolling,
it was Romeo from Rolling Out. He called me the pretty thug.
You are a pretty thug, Cynthia. You are. You just sit there so calmly.
Like Tupac, pretty thug.
Look,
pretty thug.
It is what it is. But just like what you were saying, I just want to touch on this too, because the men do get a lot of flack on the show, and they don't really have a voice on the show.
Right.
Really say anything. But if they're a part of our life and they're a part of our reality, and we're going to be filming with them, it's only right they're going to feel a certain way about certain things. And it really just sounds at this point just so silly to say, you know, you can't get in women's business.
Yeah.
A woman is their business. So
this is your business.
You know,
right.
I mean, Mike Sterling is probably one of the nicest men that I've ever met in my life. When I tell you, Eva Sunflower over there, got her a good man that loves and protects her, and they have a beautiful family. They have a beautiful union. That man would never, ever, ever step out of place because he's just a really, really good guy. So when Mike gets that upset that he's going to actually go to social media, this man is, you know, he really had to just say what he had to say.
Yeah.
And you just have to respect that because he is not interested in trying to do anything except love his wife and his family.
I know that's right.
All this other stuff, he'd care less about it, like honestly. So, you know, leave Mike alone. Let Mike Sterling vent if he need to vent every now and then because, you know, sometimes you just got to get it out and it just is what it is. But he's always coming from a place of respect for these women on the show and for love. But if they cross the line with his, he might have something to say about it.
And that's what's crazy about it. That's what's crazy about it. Like if I said something, all of a sudden, we're not boring anymore. You know, if I come at a woman and call her out of her name, I'm not doing that. I'm never learning who I am. And she's never learned who she is for the sake of a reality television show.
Can I ask this? Yeah, because you guys, I just have to ask this because Mike, with you stripping yourself, getting the truth out, being vulnerable, when people find themselves to humble themselves, to apologize or to, you know, be the higher person, sometimes it's not seen in a positive light. And I'm just going to give an example. Like, for example, the last part of the reunion, Nene was kind of made fun of for having an apology tour. And it's like, well, isn't that the right thing to do? Shouldn't she want to heal, you know, any disruptions that was caused in the past, try to move forward? But it seemed like they tried to make light of it. And I'm like, well, what is it that we want? Because a lot of the audience, it seems like the only thing they're looking forward to is who had the best read, And it's just like the show is so much more if they allow it to be. But what are your thoughts on Nene apologizing, being sincere, trying to amend the past relationships and people making light of it, saying an apology tour?
Right. Well, I think an apology, taking any kind of accountability for anything that you have done wrong to someone, whether it was intentional or not, should always be applauded.
Right.
For real. Because, you know, everybody won't admit when they're wrong. Everybody's not going to give you an apology. A lot of people won't take accountability for the things that they may have done to hurt you. So I've completely applaud her for going to each lady and trying to make it right. You know, I'll just speak for my situation with her specifically, and I don't want to get into a whole Nene thing because that's not.
Sure. No. Yes, I know.
And I don't want to be like, oh, they just want to talk about Nene. No. That's not the case. Be very clear about that. But since you asked me, I will say for our relationship, our friendship, you know, this was someone that I was close to for many years and spent a lot of time with, a lot of time talking to. Like that was my friend. So I was happy for us to at least be in a place where we can just respectfully move forward.
Yes.
And it never has to be like it was, but it's like, if you're really ever friends with someone, you never want to be enemies with that person if you ever love them, because you don't stop loving people because you guys aren't friends anymore.
Right.
This doesn't work like that. Like, you know, on some of the darkest days of Nene and I going at it, I still prayed for that woman. I still, you know, was happy for all the great things that she has going on. She's incredible. She's an incredible businesswoman. I still rooted for her. Even if she didn't root for me, I still rooted for her because that's who I am. That's who my mama raised. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, I was glad that we were able to get on the other side of where we are now, wherever that is. And I'm good with it.
And she was happy to receive the apology, and it was genuine.
Absolutely.
I was there when she sent the olive branch. You know, when she sent the cheese plate.
The cheese plate. I was emotional.
She was emotional. She was really emotional. That was right before I actually got engaged to her. Before I proposed to her, it was a night of. She didn't know I was going to propose to her that night. And that happened. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's all emotional. She's thinking about that. So I'm kind of going into emotion, like thinking, okay, is this going to affect the engagement? Is she going to be out of it? Really loves Nene still to this day and love Nene. And so when she got that apology from her, she felt it was so sincere and genuine that it meant a lot to her. So yes, we are the type of people who are
it was
forgiving
sweet.
people.
It was a very nice gesture. It really wasn't an apology per se at that point. It was like her just
just the olive branch.
The business, but it was an olive branch. And I always felt like I always had to be the Michelle Obama. I always had to be the person saying, hey, well, let me go. And right. And, you know, I was at a point where, you know, sometimes you gotta, as if a friendship works both ways. Sometimes that other person has
street, honey.
Or at least meet you halfway now.
Yes.
But I was out of olive branches. So I was like, you know what? You know, you're going to have to meet me halfway on this one. And it was great. It felt good. It felt good to know that my old friend, you know, thought enough to go out of her way to write a card and, you know, make sure I got these trays and, you know, cause she wasn't invited to.
And on that point, because I'm staying out of women's business, so let me know. So this thing. So Nene said that and that was great. But people go off on Kenya when Kenya throws shade or something like that towards Cynthia when it comes to saying something about the wine bar. She's apologized. Kenya's a friend. She's apologized for that, but she won't get credit for that. But people want, and look, it's rightfully so. Give credit to Nene for that, whatnot. But Kenya, when she's throwing shade, she will always apologize if she's hurt somebody's feelings. Right. So that's the way we are.
Yeah, I had to recently clear that up before. I was like, you know, I don't agree with everything that Kenya does on the show. Kenya, good TV for the show, absolutely. Just like Nene is in her own way. It is what it is. But anything where it affects me, that any situation that Kenya Moore Daly and I have ever had, she's always taken accountability once I called her out and apologized. You can do a whole episode of just Kenya apologizes to Cynthia.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean somebody's being dragged either, though. So that's the whole thing. It's like there's a whole fashion when I see people saying, well, you allow her to drag you and blah, 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 blah. Cynthia's like,
so crazy.
It's not being dragged. But if somebody sincerely or genuinely apologizes to you, what's wrong with accepting an apology and moving on?
Right.
And not being bitter about it, man.
That's what I'm saying. I think sometimes the viewers, they get caught up in the best read, who was dragged. And it's just like, oh, these ladies have careers. They have legacy. It's so much more, but they like to focus on that. And so I'm just glad that it was addressed.
That's just so unfortunate that, you know, we're making a show, you know, myself and my castmates, we work really hard to bring the show to you guys every year. And, you know, we do a lot of great stuff on the show, a lot of positive stuff on the show. There's a lot of inspiration on the show. So for anyone who is only going to look at the negative and, you know, whatever, like I said, I'm all for the fun shade. I do not take myself this seriously. If you want to throw the shade and then lift me in a blaze of glory after the shade, I'm good with it. It is what it is, because I'm not validated by my castmates of the show.
Amen. Yeah.
Cynthia Bailey was long before there was a Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm good with it. So anyone that wants to only focus and celebrate negativity or just mean-spirited drama, then, you know, they can miss me with that. Those are not the people that I, you know, post for on Instagram.
It is crazy.
That's not my village. That's somebody.
When I was trying to get questions, people were sending in questions and stuff like that, because I want to move to our, you know, I have a little segment. I kind of got it from you, Mike Hill, keeping it real. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. So I have that little segment real quick, and then some fan questions. But a lot of it, they were like, well, it's going to be messy. And I just need, and I'm like, people, just reading the comments, like researching old videos and stuff like that and seeing the thing. I was like, Lord, these people are sad. They lonely. They upset. It's something. And so I just hope y'all don't feed into the hype. Continue to.
No. And again, this came up with another interview today. We've been doing press for the book tour today. So, you know, we actually have a lot of love.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like for the most part, people are here for #chill.
Yeah.
A lot of inspiration. You know, anytime if I can post a picture of anything. If I post a picture with Mike, people really, really want to see us win. They want to see me win, they want to see Mike win, and they want to see us win together. Now with anything, the people I look up to, I can't think of anybody. Michelle Obama probably got haters out there.
You know? Of course she does. Clearly.
Jesus could post on Instagram himself walking on water. And he can't swim.
So he just showing out.
Yeah, he's showing off. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Doing too much.
He's doing
He's
too
doing
much.
Hashtag too much Jesus.
Too much Jesus.
Too much.
You got to walk on water.
But let's talk real quick. Was there pause when you decided to write this tell-all, especially in the field that you're in, to say, you know what, I'm just going to bare myself. I'm going to strip down and be totally honest with who I am. So that's one question. And the other part is, what was the catalyst for you to even say, get this pen in hand and start going?
Well, that's the catalyst. The catalyst was, it wasn't supposed to be coming out. It was supposed to be just my memoirs. It started off as somebody said, you got an interesting story, you know, the domestic violence you saw, your dad being a hitman, your marriages, coming up in this business, the racism and some of the prejudice that you had to go through in the business and whatnot. So there was a lot of different layers to my life, and somebody told me I needed to write a book. I didn't think I would need to write a book because I'm not a celebrity. I've never felt like I was a celebrity. I'm like, yeah, nobody's going to read that book or whatever. But in 2017, something told me I needed to write that book because I was hurting on the inside. I had all this happiness on the outside. I was out here living a life in LA, great job, whatnot. But on the inside, I was dying. Laura, when I tell you that if I did not write this book, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. A, I would not be with her. B, I'd be dead because I had so much trauma on the inside of me that I didn't even know existed, that I had to uncover. So when I started writing the book, it actually became my therapy. It became something I needed to release. And so I realized the reasons why I couldn't love people is because I didn't love myself because of certain things that happened in my life. I realized why I wasn't going higher in my professional career because of certain things that I put myself through and whatnot. So it helped me uncover all those layers. So you asked me, was there a hesitation for me to put it out? I didn't want to put it out in the beginning because I didn't think it was for anybody else except me. Until somebody said, you know what you have in this book, you have so many gems, so many things that you put your transparency out there. Other people need to see this because you can help other people. So when I started actually shopping it and saying, okay, I'll put it out, I let some people read it and it's like, don't put this out because it's going to ruin your career. Because of all the different things I talk about, my infidelities, I talk about, you know, growing up and you know, like my stepdad being a hitman and spending the last 9 years of his life in prison for murder, the things that I could have done that I could have been put in jail for if I had made the left instead of the right, you know, all that type of stuff that was out there. So I was uncovering all that stuff. So yeah, there was hesitation or whatnot, but at the end of the day, I prayed about it. And God basically told me I needed to put it out there. I need to allow people to see my pain so that they can heal. And absolutely, me actually putting this out there has allowed me to begin my healing process because I have not completely healed yet. And that's why I still encourage people, especially Black men,
talk about it.
Go to therapy because we need it, because we always look at the things that we go through, the traumas, we all suffer some kind of way of PTSD, just the anxiety of being a Black man walking around the street. You can't go jogging in the neighborhood without having that anxiety. So there's a lot of things, a lot of issues that we have in our community as a whole, but especially as Black men, that unless we talk to somebody about and address that, it's going to literally kill us from the inside out. So I wanted to put that out there. So regardless of what the feedback or the flack is for my professional career, it's what God intends me to do, and I'm proud to do it. Thank you so much for the support that people have given me and allowing me to speak my truth. Please go out there and continue to order the book. Pre-sales begin once again, like you said, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere books are sold. And it's supposed to come out around my 50th birthday in August. So you'll have it there for the end of the summer. So thank you so very much and appreciate you having us today.